The Ugandan taxpayer will be burdened more in the next financial year budget, as Parliament intends to raise the allowances of MPs by 193 billion shillings. Two provisions were made in the budget that was passed. They include 1.4 billion shillings and 187 billion shillings, which will cater for recurrent budget shortfalls of Parliament. The total budget for Parliament will stand at 754 billion shillings.
We suggested an increment in their allowances. Their salary has never increased. That's a different matter. The salary is 11.18 million, taxed 6.1 million net. Do you even expect them to share the salary with the voters? Which we all know. Do you expect it? So at least said, how do you best help members? So it was put in a budget proposal. And you know what a budget proposal means? It has to depend on the revenue collection.
The increment will mainly cater for MPs' mileage allowances, which currently stands at 3,500 shillings per litre. This allowance is given depending on the distance of an MP's constituency from Parliament, with the farthest away getting the highest allowance.
What was catered for the next budget was the predicament of members of Parliament. And they discussed this. They are coming under a lot of, you know it, you cannot even hide from it, that members of Parliament have become frontline service providers. Frontline. That you have to go to your constituency with at least 5 million. Or you have not gone.
Parliament's Director for Communication and Public Affairs, Chris Obore, says the enormous pressures that the MPs experience in their constituencies informed this increment.
We should not pretend we the elite who earn our money and have no obligation to share with anyone, except our relatives or not even. We should not pretend that they are like MPs. The MPs face different pressures.
Recently, there has been a public backlash over the procurement of 2 ceremonial vehicles for the offices of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker at 2.8 billion shillings. Parliament also intends to purchase 2 houses for the 2 offices.
We have set up...
Aside from houses, vehicles and allowances, Parliament is also fronting another proposal of building offices for MPs. Chris Obore says the search for land is on.
You know how we are struggling? Instead of paying billions in rent, we are saying, why don't we build offices to accommodate all members? But tomorrow when we say we need this amount of money to build offices, Parliament is very extravagant. But we are bleeding paying rent. So which is better?
Parliament is renting office space on Development House, Queen's Chambers, Raja Chambers and at Kingdom Kampala building. Parliament currently spends 9.8 billion shillings annually on the space at Kingdom Kampala. According to the data from the Ministry of Finance, 678 billion shillings was spent on rent from the 2017-2018 financial year to present, out of which 647 billion shillings was paid to private entities and 30.9 billion shillings to other government units. Herbert Ziwa, NTV at Parliament.